Adam, a single cheese sandwich led the charge in the complete annihilation of an entire multi-million-dollar brand.
Another episode where things go wrong.
Fyre Festival was this luxury musical festival, an island once owned by Pablo Escobar. So it's perfect.
It sounds great.
Wrong. There's no infrastructure there at all. There's no water, electricity, not even plumbing. That evening, the island is hit with a massive torrential downpour.
No.
The tents literally collapse inwards. As they're driving, one of the girls sees all the disaster relief tents in the distance. And for a serious moment, she thinks that she is driving past poverty to get to the luxury. Meanwhile, the bus driver, he knows exactly where they're going. Unlike sweetie, you have no idea. One guy says it was literally like the Hunger Games. And then just one kid with a few hundred followers posts a picture of a cheese sandwich and pretty much destroys the entire brand.
Wow.
Welcome to The Compendium, an assembly of fascinating things. A weekly variety podcast that gives you just enough information to stand your ground at any social gathering.
We explore stories from the darker corners of true crime, the hidden gems of history, and the jaw-dropping deeds of extraordinary people.
I am Kyle Risi, your ringmaster for this week's episode.
And I'm Adam Cox, who's just the barman this week.
Humble work.
Yeah, I make my own alcohol, my own moonshine.
God, you fermenting your own moonshine. What's the main ingredients? Is it grain base? Is it the corn base?
I don't read the labels.
This is random. It's too random. Guys, if you're new to the show and you want to support us, then the absolute best way to support the show and enjoy exclusive perks is, of course, as always, to join us over at Patreon, because signing up for free will get you access to next week's episode an entire 7 days before anyone else.
And guess what, Kyle? For as little as $3 a month, you'll become a fellow freak of the show, unlocking our entire back catalogue, including classic episodes I don't think we can go through anymore. I think we've probably reeled them all off.
Have we? Oh, just loop back to the first one then. The Beanie Baby Bubble.
There's about 20. Go enjoy yourself.
We're going to need to add some more into that archive anyway. We've got too many on the main feed. And as a special thank you, all of our Certified Freak tier members now receive an exclusive Compendium keychain. All you got to do is just DM us with your address and we'll send one straight to your door so we can always be dangling near your crotch. Why'd you whisper it?
Just think of other ways you can say crotch.
Seductive last week. It was creepy this week.
Creepy? I thought it was a little sensual. And lastly, guys, please follow us on your favorite podcast app and leave us a review or a rating if you're on Spotify. Your support helps others find us and keeps these amazing stories coming.
So Adam, today on The Compendium, we're diving into an assembly of hype, lies, and catastrophic failure.
Okay. Sounds like another episode where things go wrong.
Like the Poop Cruise episode.
Yeah.
It's not too dissimilar from the Poop Cruise episode, actually.
Well, hopefully it's a kind of a fun catastrophe rather than a serious one.
There's always going to be some casualties, but we can very much laugh at this one. Adam, you must remember that very brief, deranged moment in history where a single cheese sandwich led the charge in the complete annihilation of an entire multi-million-dollar brand.
Well, there's only one cheese sandwich that's ever done this that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
It's Fyre Festival, right?
Yes, absolutely. For our listeners who don't know the story, what is Fyre Festival?
Fyre Festival was going to be this like brand new festival event, really hyped up. It had a load of influencers. It was going to be like the most expensive, most luxurious. You're going to stay in these like amazing, I don't know, luxury camping and then go to a festival. A bit like, what's the American one?
Coachella.
Yeah, like that, but I guess even more kind of Instagrammy.
And it was implied from the marketing videos that you would be hanging out with the very supermodels depicted in that promotional video. Models on jet skis, there'd be private jets, there'd be gourmet food. Basically, a lot of promises were made, but in the end, it all ended up going to shit in the most hilarious way. It was almost like the whole world was collectively watching this carry-on film unfold on the internet as the tweets were just coming in.
I don't remember much about it until after the event. I guess it was the documentary that's really publicized.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that really brought it into the mainstream. But in the aftermath, this became like a perfect case study for how hype machines had fine-tuned themselves to really prey on people's vanity and that desire for status. It all happened sort of at the peak of Instagram history, which we really haven't moved on from, but it was all about looking the best, being the best, having the best experiences. And so this festival was looking to capitalize on those people's insecurities. But while the guy behind all of this, a guy called Billy McFarland, probably had noble intentions, he was just completely out of his depth. They were spending money that literally didn't exist. Even early on, when it was very clear they were failing to deliver on all these promises, they just kept going in the very naive hope that just everything would just magically work out in the end.
Yeah, that rarely happens though.
It never happens.
There's no fairies that come in and just like make things better.
Oh, I thought it was angels.
So was it the guy that organized it? I can't remember his name, but I'm sure you'll come on to him. Was it his first time organizing a festival like this, I assume?
Yes, first time organizing a festival, but not his first time organizing events.
Okay.
So today, Adam, on the compendium, I'm going to tell you about Fyre Festival. I'm going to tell you about the glossy con that started long before they even arrived on Pablo Escobar's island, because that was one of the big promises, wasn't it? That it's going to be held on Pablo Escobar's island. So I'm going to tell you how Fyre Festival wasn't even Billy McFarland's first con, how the red flag should have been seen years before. I'm going to tell you how Fyre Festival came to be, how it crashed miserably, and what it was like at Fyre Festival itself. We'll hear some first-hand accounts, but also how none of this ended up stopping Billy, because, Adam, he's still out there lurking, and we're going to check on him as recently as this year in 2025.
By lurking, what does that mean? I feel like he's hiding, but like behind a bush.
He's just biding his time. He's waiting for the next opportunity to try and make it big in this world.
I see.
So, Adam, today's story all starts with a boy man called Billy McFarland. His story is very much a rise and fall story. Only when it comes to Billy McFarland, imagine his rise and fall like a basketball. Each bounce is a brand new scam, rising a little each time. Billy comes from a fairly wealthy family of real estate developers in New Jersey. They're wealthy enough to send him to private school, where at 13, he starts up an online sourcing company that sets out to match clients with web developers and designers. Like, he's 13 at the time.
That seems quite entrepreneurial.
That's what private school money will get you, man.
Little Kickstarter.
So after graduating high school, he attends Bucknell University to study computer engineering. And Billy is fascinating to me. He has this reputation of kind of being cool. Like, you probably remember that kind of aura that he kind of gave off.
Yeah. Is he a bit preppy?
Yes, he's got that preppy sense about him. And that's because, to him, his entire image is all about optics. But the more I got to know him while researching the story, it was harder for me to place him on that kind of cool scale. Like, on one hand, he comes across as this all-American kind of douchebag type. But on the other hand, his dress sense really doesn't match up with that reputation. So he dresses more like a web developer, basically.
I see. And so where did you land on the cool scale with him?
Well, the thing is, though, like, on one hand, he's surrounded by all these rappers and these socialites that are really cool, really kind of hip and stuff. But he kind of stands out in a way that doesn't really fit in that kind of circle. He also walks in a way that's really off to me because his arms don't really swing when he walks. It's really weird.
I don't trust anyone that doesn't swing their arms.
I know. And when he does, it's not so much that he walks forward as much as he is falling forward. Does that make sense? He kind of leans forward when he walks.
Okay. I'm trying to picture that. I just feel like some kind of cartoon character.
But hey, remember, we're not here to judge. All I'm saying is that his reputation doesn't really fit that kind of image that he is portraying to the rest of the world. You also get the sense that he's one of those kids in the movies that kind of gets adopted by the cool kids only because he has a car. And so he finds himself in this crowd of cool kids. He's trying to walk the walk, talk the talk. His mates are like Ja Rule. And
He's mates with Ja Rule?
Yeah. Like, Ja Rule's a big part of the story. Did you not know that?
I mean, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me.
So like Ja Rule is out there casually throwing out the N-word and throwing out fucks left and right. But Billy, you get the sense that his mum might be listening. So he's like, oh yeah, like last night I got totally effed, man. Or like he's like, gosh darn it. So he doesn't really have the same lingo as the people that he's hanging out with.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of an oddball.
Instead he gets spangled rather than pissed.
Yes.
He sticks out like a sore thumb.
He does. It's really strange. Actually, I haven't listened to this yet, but he is interviewed on Diary of a CEO.
Is he?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Worth checking out. And he's a big fat liar as well. So in his first year of college, Billy decides that he's going to drop out as a freshman because for Billy, college was just for chumps and he wanted to be a tech entrepreneur. And so he sets off to build a web platform. He decides that living in a world that already has Facebook and LinkedIn is missing an opportunity to combine them both.
Well, like a work social.
Yeah, it's really dumb. He calls it Spling.
Oh, that's a terrible name.
And basically, it's a content sharing network that is in no way unlike Facebook or LinkedIn, but is exactly the same.
So do you say to someone, oh, can you spling me later?
Exactly, yeah. Spling.
Spling.
Spling. Sounds like a medical procedure, doesn't it?
It sounds like it is, if that makes sense. Onomatopoeia, that's what I mean.
Oh, I got splinged last night.
You can use it in a dirty sentence.
Yeah. Doctors don't think I'm going to make it. I got splinged.
Yeah.
The point is that nothing really comes of Spling. And so that is our second bounce in Billy's rise and fall kind of story arc. But then in August of 2013, 22-year-old Billy launches Magnesis. And Magnesis is a credit card membership club targeted specifically to millennials. Only it isn't a credit card at all.
Then what is it?
The way that it works is that for $250 a year, they send you a black Magnesis card, which you then link to your regular credit card, and then you use that as a substitute. Basically, every time you spend on your Magnesis card, you earn exclusive membership perks like access to a private luxury lounge in the heart of downtown Manhattan. You also have access to a concierge service that will kind of help you get concert tickets. You'll get on the VIP list at clubs and some of the hottest restaurants in the city, basically.
So it's kind of like a perceived added value that you get with joining this club.
Basically, he wants to mirror the prestige that comes with having an American Express black card, only you don't have to be filthy rich to have one. You just need $250.
I see.
He also works really hard to make owning a Magnesis card feel like a status symbol. And he does this by really playing on people's vanity, which he himself is a massive victim of. The wild thing is that he makes these cards himself by hand. So he'll like copy the mag strip from your existing card over to the new Magnesis card, and then he'll send it to you, which he does all from his apartment, which is also his office, but also the very exclusive member lounge that he offers to members.
What? He lives in the lounge?
He lives in the lounge. If you own a Magnesis card, you get to hang out at his house.
How big is this place?
It's a townhouse in Manhattan.
I guess it makes sense that, I don't know, it saves on rent. I don't know.
And Adam, the idea sort of has legs, right? Like he manages to raise $1.5 million in investor funding. And by December 2013, the company has 500 members. By 2014, memberships have risen to 1,200. And by 2016, he has 30,000 members. That's a ton of money, right?
Yeah, some good growth year on year.
But 2 months later at a conference in Portugal, Billy starts telling everyone that he now has 100,000 members.
So just lies.
Which, if true, this values basically Magnesis at $25 million a year in annual recurring revenue. And he's achieved all of that in just 3 years. So not bad, if true.
If true, but we're saying it's not true.
I'm very dubious about whether it's true or not.
Okay.
And people are attracted because of the status that comes with owning this Magnesis card. They're all really young, eager millennials trying to kind of make it in Manhattan who are all sharing the commonality of being kind of a card holder. And so to them, the biggest perk is the networking opportunities. They can all now come together at this exclusive Magnesis member lounge. They hold business meetings. Some are there just to chill out. Of course, these devolve into evening gatherings where they host some of the wildest parties. So you can imagine how this exclusive townhouse in Lower Manhattan just gets absolutely trashed. Because millennials have no respect.
That's not true.
We don't have any respect.
I think we do now. I mean, it's like 10 years on from this point. But then, is it a bit like Soho House where that kind of exclusive club, you get access to different perks, a swimming pool and stuff like that?
I think so, but this is just a Manhattan townhouse.
Yeah. It doesn't sound as good.
Here's the thing. Some of them actually end up living there, including for a time, Anna Delvey.
Really?
Yeah, that was during her couch surfing days. So she ends up living at this townhouse in Lower Manhattan with Billy McFarland.
It kind of makes sense because, yeah, she didn't have anywhere to live.
Of course, when the landlords find out what's been happening, they go and inspect the townhouse. And of course, it's trashed. There's like $100,000 worth of damage to the property. They've destroyed several antique windows, which cannot be replaced. Virtually all the kitchen appliances are ruined. They find bodily fluids stained on every wall and carpet, including vomit, urine, even shit stains that they weren't able to get out.
Oh, God. What was going on at this
These
place?
are supposed to be young professional millennials, but I guess when your membership fee is $250, like that's open to everyone, isn't it?
Pretty much. That's like what you pay like a tenner to go to a club anyway. So, yeah, maybe it's not that exclusive.
So obviously the landlord sues him. The lawsuit is settled in 2016. Obviously Billy is evicted. He moves Magnesis to an actual office space, this time in Chelsea, where business just continues as normal. The way he spends his days, Adam, is getting more people to, of course, join Magnesis. He copies the card details over to these Magnesis cards. And when he isn't doing that, he's acting as the concierge service for his members. So he's booking tickets to events, he's booking reservations at restaurants, and of course, throwing very exclusive member parties. And it's pretty much just him at this moment in time. And I mean, he is partying so hard by night that during the day, he just ends up mismanaging the entire operation, which is, by the way, very much a scam as it is. He'll send you like confirmation of tickets that you've booked, like a Broadway showing to Hamilton, which was like impossible to get at the time. And then those people would then show up at the theater only to find out that there's no tickets at all.
So he just took their money?
Yeah, pretty much. People will also then rock up for like some of the most exclusive restaurants in the city, and the maitre d' will just literally laugh in their face and be like, we literally book bookings like 9 months in advance.
Wow.
And it's really embarrassing because many of these people are young professional entrepreneurs, like literally taking clients out for business meals. And so as a result, Magnesis ends up getting a ton of negative reviews online. But in spite of all of that, he still manages to secure investor funding. He comes up with all sorts of excuses, like these reviews were just kind of other competitors looking to break into the market. He'll tell them not to worry, that he's working on getting them taken down, etc. So like, people buy it.
I'm getting another kind of like fake it till you make it kind of vibe, or at least you're doing what you can to make this business a success. Although,
but he is mismanaging it
he
quite
is
a bit.
mismanaging it. He is conning people. I'm getting very much Elizabeth Holmes kind of vibes.
Yes, that's it.
Does he wear a turtleneck?
No, he doesn't. He just wears his little preppy little polo tops. He looks like a complete geek. So at some point in 2016, Billy is planning an event where he is looking to book several acts to perform at a member party for Magnesis. One of those acts is none other than Ja Rule himself. Do you remember Ja Rule?
I do. I'm trying to remember the songs that he sang.
The one that comes to mind is Always Some Time. Always Some Time.
Gave You My All.
Gave you my all.
That's
baby, be mine. That one.
Yes.
I think he's also in like in Fast and Furious. I think just the first one though. I always get him confused with some of the other rappers that are in there.
To be honest, they're all the same.
They're all, hey.
The films is what I meant. Let me just be clear on that.
Wow. Wow.
Don't take us off the air.
By the way, this blows my mind. Ja Rule, his real name is Jeffrey.
Well, it kind of makes sense. Jeffrey, that doesn't sound, I don't know, cool enough.
It doesn't really have the same hip hop vibe as Ja Rule though, does it?
It doesn't.
No, you know what? Because Ja Rule is such a fuckhead in the story, that's what we're going to call him. I'm going to call him Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
His name's Jeffrey throughout this entire episode.
Okay.
So Billy's trying to connect with Jeffrey to book him for an event. He reaches out to someone on Instagram who says he'll connect him, but he wants $500 in order to connect him to Jeffrey. So Billy pays the money. They give him the contacts. He calls the guy. He says, sure, I'll connect you to Jeffrey, but I want $700. So Billy's like, fine. He gives him the money. This guy gives him another name. He reaches out to this other guy and he's like, sure, I'll connect you to Jeffrey, but I want $1,000. It's just impossible to get connected to him.
It's like a finder's fee.
But a chain of them. It's just bullshit.
Just go straight to the source.
Well, that's the problem. He can't go to the source. He can't get hold of Jeffrey.
You just need to log on to Jeffrey's Instagram and then track him down.
You would think, right? So after the gig, Billy is like, listen, Jeff, can I call you Jeff or do you prefer Jeffrey? So it's like, look, it was really difficult to get hold of you. There must be an easier way. And he's like, how about you join me in a partnership where we build an app that will make it easier to contact talent without getting ripped off.
Okay.
And Jeff loves the idea. So together they start up a talent booking platform called Fyre Media.
I see. Okay.
And it's a relatively good idea. There's definitely a gap in the market, and the platform promises to create a smoother booking process for parties, events, festivals, meetups, basically anything that you want to involve another celebrity with. They'll just all get set up on the app, and then you've got a direct contact to them where you can discuss bookings, fees, all sorts of things, terms and conditions, you name it.
Does this like take the agents out of it?
Yes, basically they want to get rid of the middleman.
Do you know what? Yeah, I get that because I've worked with influencer agents and they are just weird.
And the thing is, though, they want payment for everything. They want payment
Everything.
for like even a cut of the marketing spend that you make on it as well. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, you got that from me. Don't make out like...
See, I listen to what you say when you talk about your job.
Don't make out like you know this.
So Magnesis sort of bounces out of existence, and Billy and Jeff now start working through the logistics of making this platform work.
Mm-hmm.
But they need funding. And so they have to form a whole promotional strategy around this concept in order to generate buzz, which will then generate investment, which will then be used to fund building the platform. Simple math, basically, Adam. Simple math. Easy math. So they put their heads together. They decide that they're going to host a concert. The idea was to invite a bunch of industry professionals. Fyre Media and the platform will then be at the center of all of this. They'll heavily imply that all the acts have been booked through this company. In reality, it's all just Jeffrey's kind of connections to the industry. And then after the concert, everyone will see how amazing and seamless the event was, which will then all be credited to this Fyre Media platform that doesn't exist yet.
Sure, I see.
So they start with this idea of a concert, but then they think, this isn't big enough. Jeff, this is not big enough. And so they up the ante, and this then becomes a multi-day music festival. But still, Adam, it's not big enough. It needs to be bigger. So then someone suggests that they make it a luxury festival that will include influencers, private jets, yachts, Michelin star food. They love it.
It sounds ideal. It sounds like this really
But it's escalated massively from just a one-day concert to now this music festival over multiple days with yachts and private jets and stuff.
Oh, hang on. So did the event with Jeffrey actually happen?
Yes, they had that event.
That's tested. That's worked well.
It was just a private member event where he would come perform and do a meet and greet and things like that.
Got you. So that actually happened. That was successful.
How is that not going to be successful? Hey, Jeff, here's $10,000. Come to my event.
True. He probably paid him more than $10,000.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, for one evening?
I would think so.
Oh, it's because you've got the experience with the influencers.
Yeah. And then there's like an extra fee for every drink that he has to drink.
If you want me drunk, it's going to cost you. But then someone says, why don't we host the entire thing in the Bahamas?
It sounds great, but I just think that's a logistical nightmare and it's going to cost a lot of money.
Oh, yes. That's the thing. They have no concept of the logistics behind what this is going to involve. So they start scouting for a location. It has to be somewhere super special. They finally land on an island called Norman Key. They discover, to their delight, it used to be owned by a guy called Carlos Leda Rivas, who just so happened to be connected to Kingpin Pablo Escobar.
Ah, so they're going to go on an island where drugs have been smuggled.
Exactly. It was kind of like the distribution point where they would take all the drugs from South America to this little key and then be disseminated across the United States.
Cool. That would be a good place to have it. I wonder if you can like hunt around and find a few grams of cocaine. Just
In a little baggie. I found a baggie. But yeah, you get the sense of the allure behind it being connected to Pablo Escobar.
Sure.
Billy, of course, starts telling everyone that it's actually Pablo Escobar's island, which it isn't. And that they had bought the island, which they hadn't. They're just renting it. When they're meeting the owners, Billy cannot shut up about the fact that this once used to be owned by Pablo Escobar, and the owners literally have to keep reminding him, no, not Pablo Escobar. It's the Rieves family. And Billy's like, yeah, Pablo Escobar. And they're like, no, Billy, not Pablo, Rivas.
Sure. So Pablo Escobar?
Exactly. But also the owners are trying to improve the reputation of the island. So they say that part of the conditions of the lease is that they cannot mention any association with Rivas. And Billy is like, yeah, Pablo. And they're like, Billy, nor Pablo. And he's like, okay, fine.
Do you reckon it's got like really white sand beaches from all the cocaine?
It's just cocaine. So December 2016, they hire the best in the business. They start bringing together all the cogs to market this festival that they were going to call Fyre Festival.
It makes sense. They've got another business.
Yeah, exactly. They hire a guy called Matt Projects to handle the advertising, the marketing. They hire a guy called Fuck Jerry to handle all the social media.
Is that his Christian name?
No.
No, okay, just
It's
checking.
his cocaine name. If Fyre Festival was going to be this luxury multi-day music festival, then the crux of the event, they needed celebrities. The marketing team pulled together some of the biggest models in the world, including Bella Hadid, Emily Ratajkowski, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, Hailey Bieber. They basically shipped them all off to Norman's Key in the Bahamas to shoot a promo video. They have one camera that is filming all the models. Another is basically following Billy and what he's doing. It's a bit like what Anna Delvey was doing when she was documenting her rise to success. Do you remember when they got trapped in kind of Marrakesh? And that's when the videographer was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like, you've got no money to pay me, so I'm leaving. So I do wonder, actually, because they were friends. So I do wonder whose idea it was first. Did she get the idea from what Billy was doing? Or did Billy get the idea from what she was doing?
Yeah, I wonder if just that social circle, a lot of people were doing this.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted to be on Instagram and famous or whatever.
Possibly, like capturing footage was really key at that point, wasn't it? So on Norman's Key, the entire shoot ends up being one giant party. They drink all day, they're throwing up, they're taking drugs, they're sniffing the sand. At one point, you see Billy pass out on the beach clutching his beer while everyone's working around him. That's how hard they're partying.
Wow, during the day?
During the day, yeah.
Jeez.
To them, yes, they were there filming this important marketing campaign, but also they were there to party, right? As Jeff would say, just living it up in the city. You don't get that reference?
No.
That's one of his songs, Adam! Basically, in the end, it's impossible for the film crew to direct any of them because nobody's listening. One of the producers is trying to arrange for them to be filmed visiting a group of wild pigs on like a nearby island. It's kind of sort of a popular thing for people to do. You can go off and just pat them, basically.
Go see some wild pigs. How different is that to seeing some on an actual farmland?
But they're on an island. They're in paradise, Adam. Let's go see the pigs. Do you not remember when we used to watch, what was that show on E4? Castaway or The Island or Shipwrecked?
Yeah.
And they had pigs on the island as well. I think it might have been kind of in this area of the Bahamas.
Okay.
And there was just these wild pigs running around. So it's quite a popular thing to do. It's very Instagram worthy.
Pigs.
Yeah, pigs. Basically, someone tells them that they're not allowed to do that. Maybe they're protected. I don't know. But Jeff is like, we're spending so much money. If we want to go and see the pigs, we'll go see the fucking pigs. It's a great point from Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, fine. Go see the pigs.
Go see the pigs. There's also this footage of Jeffrey just yelling at the models to like get in the water. He's like saying bikinis are optional. And the girls are like,
Ew.
I
That's a little gross.
I don't want to get in the water. And he's like, get in the fucking water. So like straight up gangster rap energy. Do you know what I mean? No misogyny, but a bit of a pig. Finally, the video is ready. It's lovely. It opens with a drone shot zooming down on the island over like a private jet. You see models in bikinis, jet skis, yachts. They're just cruising around the Bahamas. Of course, the setting is paradise. Crystal blue waters interspersed with kind of cuts of the crowds and DJ sets. The video says, welcome to Fyre Festival. Over 2 transformative weekends, an immersive music festival offering the best in music, food, art, and of course, adventure.
2 weekends.
Yeah.
So it's going to last a week.
I think it's over the weekend, and then that's the first stint. You can stay for the whole week and then come to the second part,
I
but maybe
see.
it's just to cater for different groups of people. Eventually, the 2-minute video ends with text saying, join us. Tickets on sale at fyrefestival.com. Limited availability. Because that's like, people are going to be like, oh, limited availability. I better get my ticket. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's a selling tactic.
Exactly. You know, you work with marketing. You deal with celebrities all the time. So it's a good video. Like, I can't even really make fun of it. It's quite tasteful. It's beautiful. It's idyllic. It's lovely. But then on the 12th of January, 2017, everything comes together when they coordinate 250 of the furthest reaching influencers and celebrities on social media, including Kendall Jenner, Emily Ratajkowski, and they're all basically going to simultaneously post a link to this video on their Instagram feed along with a single solitary orange square, so a tile.
I see. Okay.
The idea was that across the world, millions of people would start seeing this orange square just appearing on their feeds and think like, what
What is this? Yeah, it's kind of a bit like guerrilla marketing where you're just trying to get a bit of a stunt, essentially, get the marketing out there.
I've not heard you talk about this bit in your job. Should I know? Have you mentioned this before?
No, but you'll probably repeat it on the next podcast.
In effect, it's genius, basically. It works. How much do you want to hazard a guess that they paid Jenna to post that orange square on her feed, which probably took her all of 34 seconds?
Probably like 250 grand.
Yes!
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I know my influencers.
That's just wild, though. Isn't it mental? Kendall was probably obviously the highest paid of them all. But remember, They got hundreds of celebrities and influencers to do this. So that's some serious cash that they spend straight off the bat. I think it's like something like $5.1 million just for this little bit.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Black Friday at BJ's Wholesale Club is so big, we called in the expert at paying less around the holidays.
Scrooge here. Past, present, or future, it's hard to beat the Black Friday deals at BJ's. Believe me, I've tried. Get 25% off select toys, 30% off select small appliances, and 45% off select TVs through December 1st. Plus doorbuster deals Thanksgiving weekend. These prices are so good they even rattled out Marley's chain. Ah, humbug. Sorry, old habit.
Visit bjs.com/Black Friday for holiday savings.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Overnight, the Fyre Media Instagram completely blows up. Everyone's wondering what these orange tiles all are about. They watch the promo video. They, of course, see that it's a luxury festival in the Bahamas. Everybody wants in. It's very much implied, Adam, that it's going to be attended by all the models and the celebrities that were captured in this video, that they would be hanging out with them too.
Yeah, I remember watching the video, and it was quite good in terms of kind of pitching that it would be this kind of paradise, this party island, this really luxurious place. It's going to cost a lot, I imagine.
Oh, yes. So in terms of accommodation, you had a lot to choose from. You could stay in one of their luxury, rustic kind of glamping tents. If that was way too rough for you, then you could book one of their exclusive private villas, right? And they ranged in size from like apartments to massive mansion villas on this island. But if you didn't want to stay in a private villa, another option that you had was to stay in a luxury yacht. Those tickets went for $250,000 and came with like a private chef on board. So the height of luxury. But even without the yacht, the food at the festival was said to be provided by world-renowned Michelin star chef Steven Starr and his catering company, Star Catering. The acts scheduled to be performing included Blink 182, Major Lazer, Pusha T, with DJ sets by Disclosure and other artists like Skepta and Lil Yachty. These are huge names, so I'm told. I mean, I only know Disclosure and Blink 182, but that's it.
I know, you're not really a music person.
I mean, I know music, I just don't know...
Music.
Actually, one thing I did find out is that apparently in the States, it's pronounced Blink 182, not Blink 182.
Really?
Yeah.
Blink 182.
Blink, and they even write it out as Blink 180 space 2.
Oh.
It's Blink 182.
Yeah.
Not Blink 182.
Making two numbers into one number.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need for that. But I guess that's maybe how Blink 182 says it. So you can't say like, oh yeah, my name is Adam. And I'm like, I'm not calling you that.
I'm going to call you Adam.
I'm going to call you Adam.
Fine. Yeah. All right.
So some of the people who bought tickets, they wanted to specifically go to see their favorite artists perform. The festival looked incredible, but it wasn't the main reason why they were booking tickets. They wanted to see Blink 182. So the whole thing just looked and felt sublime. It was going to be, as promised, an experience of a lifetime. So it's no surprise that within 48 hours of the tickets going on sale, 95% of them are sold. And so, by all accounts, the marketing campaign is a major success.
That's impressive. How many tickets?
Like 5,000.
5,000. And what sort of ticket price were they?
I don't know. A lot of money. Well, we know that the top tier price was like 250,000 US dollars. So a lot of money. I'm going to say like, I think like 500 quid, $500.
$500.
I think that was the starting price.
I see. You don't know, do you?
I think it is $500.
Fine. So I'm just trying to work out how much money they are potentially taking in ticket sales. The fact that they managed to sell 95% of the potential revenue from ticket sales that quickly. Impressive.
It is impressive. Yeah. For a marketing campaign, that is like unheard of.
I think I'd ever do this, though. I don't care how rich I would be, but I feel like I need to look at Trustpilot at least to get some idea if it's a good thing.
They have no reputational credibility behind them, right?
Yeah.
All they have got is Magnesis. And if you go look at Magnesis reviews, they're going to be really dog shit reviews, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we can't even go to a restaurant unless it's got 4.5 star.
No, you can't go to a restaurant unless it's got 4.5 stars. I look at the restaurant and go, looks clean, looks tidy, food looks good, let's go.
Yeah, but you don't want to go to a place, you sit down and then you're just disappointed and you look on your phone and you go, oh, we should have sat across the way because there's a better restaurant.
But the thing is, as soon as you go to a restaurant because it's 5 stars, over time, it always ends up separating itself from because it's relying on, oh, we got 5 stars, so we can charge more money. And then before you know it, it's not value for money anymore.
True. That's a fair point.
But anyway, they've sold 95% of these tickets. And this is where the first problems start to arise, Adam. Because even though they hadn't sold all the tickets yet, they had, in fact, sold more tickets than could actually fit on the island.
Who was doing logistics?
Exactly! That's the point. And here lies the problem, because people warned him as much. Like, he hired what he called the best in the business to help pull this off. And from the very start, they would constantly advise him against all sorts of different things. And he just ignored them anyway. For example, they did the maths on the ticket sales. They worked out how many people they could actually accommodate. They even suggested, obviously, putting caps on the number of ticket sales. But his math purely revolves around revenue rather than logistic feasibility. And so when people push back, he just literally fires them. He is like Elizabeth Holmes, who would say, I want this particular outcome by this particular date. And when a team says, that's impossible, she'd be like, you just need to find a way to make it happen.
I mean, there is an element where you should, be solutions driven. I agree. But then also just do some number crunching. Like, how much is it actually going to cost you to get these people?
They're not doing any of this at this moment in time. And by the time it starts to catch up with them, they end up just chasing their tail a lot of the time.
Was there no finance, like manager, director, or anything?
They come in a lot later when things get real desperate. And so literally with this kind of mentality that he has where he's like, just do what you're told. I need this outcome, make it happen. Within weeks, he's literally fired and replaced everyone who objects to him. Apparently his favorite thing to say during board meetings was, we're not a problems-based company. We're a solutions-based company.
Oh, God.
You're being way too negative. I'm like,
You're being way too much of a prick.
We can't say that. Sacked. So the next big spanner in the works comes directly as a result of the infamous promotional video. Because in the video, against the wishes of the owners, there is big bold text overlaid across the video that says, an island once owned by Pablo Escobar.
Well, they're not allowed to say that.
So they're kicked off the island.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not only was Fyre Festival sold on this really cool idea that it was this cartel kingpin's island, which wasn't even true to begin with, they now needed to source another location, which you would think would mean that they would change the promotional video, right? Wrong. They still say this new island that they find is Pablo Escobar's island.
Kyle, it sounds like you're being a problem. We're looking for solutions here.
By the way, the festival at this point is 8 weeks away.
So not long. And they've got to switch islands at this point.
They have to start searching for a whole new island, and then they've got 8 weeks to get everything sorted. Basically, in the documentary, they interview a bunch of actual festival organizers, right? And they all say, you are cutting it fine if you start planning your festival 1 year ahead.
Wow.
So the fact that they are now starting just 8 weeks out, they have to source a brand new island that can fit the capacity and the infrastructure required to accommodate the 5,000 tickets that they'd already sold is just insane. It's insane.
And I guess offering a refund at this point, though, is just not even an option.
No, this has to go ahead, right? And remember, they had already sold most of the premium tickets that came with villas and apartments. They had a sense of how many they were working with and how many the other island could accommodate. But now they had to find a whole new island that would not only let them host the festival, but also had enough accommodation for all those premium ticket holders, right? They needed villas and apartments and all these different things. It's a logistical nightmare.
I don't think I could do it. If you're faced with this dilemma, I mean, in some ways, like props to him because in a way, he powered through, he found somewhere else, That feels like such a daunting challenge.
I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
At least you've got a big team of people around you that can you can spread the load. But the thing is, though, he's not listening to them a lot of the time. So they go hunting for this new island. Most of them are either not suitable or they literally just laugh in their face. Like, there's no way that you can pull off a festival in 8 weeks. At this point, they were also hemorrhaging money. So any of the islands that were suitable were just far too expensive. They don't really have a budget at all. They're just kind of looking at what's inside their kitty at that moment in time and go, okay, so we've got like 4 million to work with right now. We have to find a solution that's going to fit within that budget rather than going, how much money do we have? And let's start allocating money to the different things. They're not doing it like that. Eventually, though, through Billy's shit-talking, he manages to persuade some local government in the Bahamas to give him a permit to use a site on the island of Great Exuma. When I say site, I literally mean a construction site.
When you said that, I just thought like, all they're getting is a portion of an island?
Yep. It's an abandoned resort development, so it's literally just rubble and concrete. There's no sand, there's no palm trees, it's just rubble and grass. Of course, that also meant there's no infrastructure there at all. There's no water, electricity, not even plumbing.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah. It also wasn't even a private island, Adam. It definitely wasn't remote. Out of the 3,000 or so islands and keys in the Bahamas, Great Exuma is literally the 13th largest island in the region. In fact, the site is adjacent to a sandals resort, so you literally cannot get any less remote and private than that. I like that laugh because it's kind of like, it's a mocking laugh, right?
Yeah, it's just a thought. Imagine being on this like remote island. You get there and you go, oh, there's people by a swimming pool over there.
Yeah, hi guys. And because we know the squalor that they're going to be living in, you're going to see these people just going, hi guys, waving with their pina coladas, and you're like literally in a slum.
Eating a cheese sandwich.
But this is what they have to work with, and it's 8 weeks out. They update all the marketing material. No longer was it Norman Key, but instead it would be the island of Great Exuma. Coincidentally, this too, as we know, was also owned by Pablo Escobar. Oh. It wasn't.
Oh, right. I almost believed you.
Like, they changed all the marketing material, but they don't update that bit. They still tell people that it's Pablo Escobar, because to him, it's a real big selling point, right? That he wants to maintain, but it couldn't be further from the truth.
This is Pablo's building site.
Yeah, he owned this construction site.
This one?
So they re-release new maps of the site. They Photoshop out the adjoining land because remember, this is not a private island. It's just a section of a greater island. So they Photoshop all that out to make it look like it's private and remote.
Oh my, that's so misleading.
Yeah, it's so bad. I have no idea how they're going to explain that when people arrive. Like, you'll probably get there and they'll put you on a boat. They'll loop you out to sea and then swing around to the construction site and like, welcome to the island. When in reality, you'll be like, I could have literally just walked in.
I can see them getting out of the airport, walking across the road.
Do we have to get on the boat? Can I just cross that velvet rope? They're like, no, you have to arrive by boat.
But when I look at the leaflet, this doesn't look like the island.
Yeah, it doesn't. Anyway, the new site is booked. There's no going back. Next, they have to start sorting out accommodation on the island, specifically the villas and the apartments for the 500 premium ticket holders. At first, it looks like they might have enough accommodation since Great Exuma is the 13th largest island in the Bahamas, right? Problem is, the festival is set to take place during the island's National Regatta, one of the busiest weekends of the year, a time when the population literally doubles in size. And so the island has already been booked out for a solid 12 months ahead of this. There's no hotels, there's no private villas, not even shitty apartments are available. Here's the kicker. 250 of those premium ticket holders were getting their accommodation for free because they were the celebrities and the influencers who had posted the orange square on their accounts. So this was kind of sort of part of their package deal.
Where are they going to stay?
Exactly. One of the consultants that's brought in after Billy had literally fired everyone, tell him like you need to cancel the influencers since they aren't paying for anything. And also like there's literally nowhere for them to stay anyway. And Billy is like, we cannot fuck around with them because the reason this festival has received the attention that it has is because of them. If we upset them, all they're going to do is just tweet about it. And before we know it, the Fyre Festival brand will just be ruined before it's even taken off. So instead, the consultant suggests cancelling the regular lower tier kind of ticket holders instead. Problem with that is they can't issue any refunds because they physically have spent all the money.
Oh, God.
So he's really screwed himself.
So you'd think like there's all the signs here to say this isn't going to work.
Just cancel it.
Cancel it, file for bankruptcy. I don't know. But the fact that he still tries to salvage this.
They couldn't cancel those lower tier tickets because at that moment in time, he was considering selling even more tickets in order to raise even more money. So like canceling those lower tier tickets wasn't even an option at this point.
Sure. Invite more people that you can't like accommodate.
Accommodate, yeah. By this point, they're only now getting around to recruiting the technical production company to set up the stages, including obviously all the audio and the visuals for the festival. When they reach out, the production company literally just laugh in their face. They're like, we still need to serve their site. Right now, the entire thing is just a construction site. They say you don't even have electricity, but also the stages literally have to be designed from scratch. And the festival is just like weeks away.
I know that usually they're picking up those stages like weeks in advance.
Yeah, and it needs to be designed. They have to think about the acoustics. They do have to do the site survey to make sure that it's a pleasant experience for the attendees, right? Billy's response is literally, I'll pay whatever it takes. And in the end, they're like, okay, it's not going to be pretty though.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any money. How is he going to pay them?
He's going to get the money. Because a couple of weeks before the festival, attendees all receive the same email reminding them that the festival was actually going to be a cashless festival. So that's new. It says that everyone would need to load up their electronic festival wristbands with money since this would act as their wallet for the entire weekend.
How can you predict how much you're going to spend? I know you can like budget yourself, but you're like, you probably get there and this burger costs $50 or something like that. And you're like, oh, I didn't budget for that.
Well, Billy's going to tell you exactly how much you need to load up there because he says most attendees load up around $3,000 for the weekend. But if they wanted to reserve tables or kind of partake in extra activities, they would need much, much more. Which is bullshit because up until this point, nobody had loaded anything onto wristbands. So them saying that most people load up $3,000 is just a lie. So this is literally just a cash grab.
Yeah. And I guess, do people do it?
Yeah, they raise $800,000 off the back of that.
The people, they don't even have tables to even reserve at this point.
Or activities. As the days go on, they get like very little traction on that. So they keep sending reminders to load up. They even start getting people in his team to call people asking why they haven't loaded money onto their accounts. And then they will talk them through how to do it.
I'd be like, this is a scam.
Yeah, exactly. So in the end, they end up persuading people to load in excess of $800,000 onto these bands. This means that they can finally settle a bunch of debts with laborers and merchants who, by this point, had stopped working because they hadn't been paid and they're like literally 2 weeks out.
Wow, but this money is not going to cover the food though, is it? This is just covering setup.
Oh yeah. Billy says that basically he's led by a spreadsheet that his team would maintain. It was basically a list of bills that had to be paid on that day. Otherwise that meant the end of the festival. So he'd come in the morning, he'd see how much he had to find by the end of that day, and then literally spend the rest of the day begging people for money just so he could pay those bills by 4 p.m. that day.
Oh, this is horrible.
And that's how he spends his day.
I couldn't do this.
I mean, how stressful must that have been for you?
Yeah.
He does it every day, miraculously. Like he'll come in and he will manage to find like $100,000 on one day. The next day, the bill is like $4 million and he'll find the money.
You got to commend him for just his
bullshit.
Yeah. His discipline, his tenacity in a way.
Yeah. Stupidity. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we should praise him for that.
But here's the issue with the wristband technology. Yes, they'd managed to get $800,000 from attendees. But when they finally get to the island, they won't be able to spend that money because the wristbands don't work without internet connection.
I was just thinking, how is that going to work without some kind of Wi-Fi or Bluetooth?
And they're a week out and they've not even set that up.
Oh my God.
It also hasn't been a priority up until now to sort out the accommodation for the glamping ticket holders, right?
It's not been a priority. Amazing.
And it's because, like, the assumption is that you can get glamping tents anywhere, right? Turns out you cannot.
You mean you just can't order them from Amazon or something?
Nope. So now you have 350 people with nowhere to sleep. So they start scurrying around for anything that they can source from anywhere. In the end, they find a bunch of hurricane disaster relief tents that were left over from Hurricane Matthew earlier that year. And basically, these are just white domes with plastic coverings over them.
Are these already on the island?
Possibly they just find like a stockpile of these tents and then they ask if they can buy them or they ask if they can have them probably because they don't have money and that's what they're going to use.
Yeah, these don't sound that luxurious if I'm honest.
No, they're emergency tents. So comfort is not a priority for anyone. But also, it's hot in the Bahamas, right? So inside these tents, they are sweltering. It's not great, Adam. It is not great. Originally, though, they also had booked a $6 million catering service through Star Catering. This is this Michelin-level catering service to provide all the luxury gourmet food on the island across these 2 weekends. They were going to be serving authentic island cuisine, local seafood, Bahamian-style kind of sushi. They even had like pig roasts. But at this point, Billy doesn't have the cash. Star Catering, they're pestering him every day. They're like, we need to start preparing, but we can't do that until we get the money from you. But in terms of priorities, Star Catering is not on that emergency payment column on his spreadsheet. In the end, Billy just can't make the finances work. So he fires them, which means there's now 0 catering for 5,000 people due to come to the island in just a couple of weeks.
Does he go to like the local Aldi or something? I don't know. What does he do?
Nope. He finds a little restaurant on the island. It's called the Exuma Point Bar and Grill. It's small scale, Adam. It's just one lady who runs the place. Her name is Marianne Roll. And Billy manages to shit talk her into agreeing to cater the entire festival.
I bet the most covers she has in a day is probably like 30 or something.
Yeah. Of course, he doesn't have any money to pay her, but she agrees that he can pay her after the festival. Adam, I feel awful for this poor woman.
Yeah, because he's manipulated her or taken advantage of her.
Yeah, he's taken advantage 100%. And
Yeah.
he's desperate. It's not an excuse. So basically, Marianne, she spends $50,000 of her own money to buy all the supplies. She hires new staff. She shuts her restaurant in the weeks leading up to this just so she can prepare.
She's probably thinking, oh, I can just do this and then I can retire.
But also, it's a long-term thing because he's told everyone that this is going to be like an annual thing.
Right.
And if she does well, she'll get the contract next year as well. And it's only going to scale. So she's really excited.
Yeah.
At this point, attendees start finalizing their plans for the festival. They know almost nothing. Naturally, they start directing all the questions to the Fyre Media Instagram account. They are asking very reasonable questions like, where am I staying? Can you please republish the floor plans for the glamping tents that you took down from the website? They're asking how many power outlets will be in them. Can I bring a hairdryer? Will you be supplying one? Like, sweetie, you have no idea. Billy tells the social team to just ignore any questions until they can just get things sorted out. Because at this point, there's just too many unknowns to give any information.
Yeah.
They're 2 weeks out. It's mental. So nobody replies. Those DMs start becoming comments on the posts that they're posting on their Instagram. The social media team then points this out. Because they're becoming increasingly more and more critical and angry about the experience so far, they're told to literally delete any negative messages.
Wow.
So bad. Eventually, the only comments coming through are negative. And so Billy tells them to just shut off all comments altogether.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to this festival and
Would you still be going at this point?
That's kind of my point. Yeah, like because they have been unresponsive. You don't feel confident about it. I'd already be going like, I want a refund.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, everyone around Billy is telling him to cancel the festival. But for him, Adam, this isn't an option. He is in so much debt to investors. On top of that, he doesn't have festival insurance, which I didn't know was a thing, but it just makes me laugh that he didn't think to get that.
I'm not surprised, to be honest, because he hasn't done anything well so far.
No, and basically the festival has to go ahead just so that he can claw back some of the money that is owed to these investors. So things are bad, but they're also about to get a hell of a lot worse and also hilarious because Billy had hired a guy called Andy King. Ring any bells?
No.
He's much older than everyone else on the team and way more experienced. It's thanks to Andy that they all have their heads above water just about.
And so Andy's got experience with organising festivals?
Festivals and events. He's got this, right? He's trying to kind of rescue this at this late stage. At some point, a few weeks in, Andy has to leave to go back to the USA for a few days. When he gets back, everything has fallen apart miserably. In particular, the shipment of Evian water that was supposed to supply the entire festival is being held by customs until they can come up with $175,000 in order to release the water.
Damn.
So they've got no water for this festival. So when Andy gets back, Billy tells him the situation. Now, Andy King is a gay man.
A gay man.
He's a gay man. I have no idea what intel Billy has on this, But somehow he gets it into his head that customs will release the water if someone goes down there and gives the customs guy a blowjob.
Oh my God. That is going above and beyond in your job.
Yes, it is. He literally becomes a symbol of that, going above and beyond for your workplace. But also, it's an absolute HR catastrophe at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, things are so desperate, everyone is losing their minds. The entire festival is literally on the verge of collapse. And Billy is like, Andy, you need to go and take one for the team and give this guy a suck job.
I'll be like, sorry, no, Billy, you can do it.
So Andy goes back to his apartment. He takes a shower.
I think he needs it afterwards.
He gargles some mouthwash. And he goes down to the customs office fully prepared to give this guy a blowjob.
I'm sorry, this guy is like more experienced. I'm guessing he's more senior, and therefore just a bit wiser. Mm-hmm. And he does this?
Yeah, he's fully prepared to do it. He gets there, the customs guy... He gets there and the customs guy is like, what's happening? What is going on? I literally just want the money.
Sir, can you stand up, please?
Eventually, he says to Andy, listen, we'll give you the water, but after the festival, we want to be at the top of the list to be paid. So he didn't even need to go down there and suck him off. But somehow, it's just been mistranslated. That's what he needed to do.
Wow. And so what was that conversation when they did meet, saying, I'm here to,
Yeah.
so I can get
He's
the
probably
water.
ready on his knees. He just starts taking his belt off and he gets on his knees like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So Andy goes back to Fyre HQ and he's like, I got the water, everyone. And nobody asks any questions. And Billy's just like, thanks, Andy.
Jeez.
In the Netflix documentary, Andy tells the story in just the most candid way. Like, Adam, he was fully prepared, no questions asked, to go down there and suck dick, as Billy puts it, to take one for the team.
That's awful. I think that's really, grimy.
It is really grimy, but don't feel too sorry for him because after the documentary, he becomes a legend. He becomes so famous. Evian released a limited edition bottle of Evian water in honor of his commitment to the cause, which you can go and see on his Instagram. The slogan's like, Evian, so good you'll do anything for it.
That's yeah.
Bless him. He's really proud of that bottle of water.
Things I had to do for this.
And in the documentary, he's like, I don't know what I was going to do, but I was going to do it.
Well, good for him.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we?
No, we haven't, Kyle.
Hey! But also, I don't get where Billy even got this idea that this even needed to happen. He's just assuming that everyone wants their dick sucked.
I reckon Billy's probably done this to pay off a few debts. And he's like, this usually works, but...
Takes his earrings out. So, Adam, it is the evening before the festival. Obviously, they're still not ready. Only literally half of the disaster relief tents have been erected at this point. There still needs to be kitted out with lockers, mattresses, bedding, everything. Currently, everything that should be inside the tents are piled up outside of the tents. And that evening, the island is hit with a massive torrential downpour.
No.
The tents literally collapse inwards. Some are blown across the construction site. All the mattresses and the beddings that were left outside are now soaking wet. The team are scrambling to get everything back in order before they can even pick up where they left off the night before.
I mean, I don't know. Do I feel sorry? No, I don't think I do.
I feel sorry for the people coming to the island. I feel sorry for Marianne.
Yes, I feel sorry for them, but I'm just thinking, it's a catastrophe they didn't need. But equally, yeah, serves them right.
So meanwhile, first flights from Miami International Airport start ferrying passengers to the island at 6:30 a.m. that morning. When they get to the airport, they're all really excited to be boarding these private jets to the island. Instead, they board shitty old planes that they've painted the Fyre Festival logo on the plane with cheap acrylic paints. It's so bad. Across Instagram, the first set of arrivals, they start posting videos of themselves boarding onto the plane. They're literally showing how bad the conditions are. Some of them are saying it's literally worse than coach.
I would be like, is this safe?
Then, while everyone is waiting to take off, it's announced on Instagram that Blink 182, the headline act, was actually pulling out, saying, unfortunately, we are not convinced that we have what we need to put on the kind of quality performance that we would like to.
That's interesting, quite late in the day that they're pulling out. I guess they must have been told lies.
Loads of lies. One of the attendees said that he was only literally going to the festival because Blink 182 were performing, so he is just furious. But at that point, he's already at the airport, so it was either go home now or go to the thing. And so he goes to the thing.
I guess if you've already loaded up your wristband,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, well, might as well spend it.
After that announcement, attendees start panicking that other acts might also pull out. So they start firing off tweets, tagging other artists, asking if they're still going. Those acts are like, what? Like, we were never going in the first place. So they have to kind of jump in and do damage control, clarifying, yes, we discussed coming to the festival, but nothing was ever confirmed. Nobody ever communicated anything to us. No one told us how we were getting there, where we would be staying. We didn't even sign a contract. Nothing was organized.
Did Billy forget to actually book the talent? Because I feel like they're like, all right, okay, we've got beds, we've got some food sorted. Right, now what are they going to do?
I think what it was is they never finalized the stuff.
What's Jeffrey doing? Surely he's kind of booking the
Yeah,
talent.
where is Jeffrey? I think he's about telling people to get into the water in bikini optional. And obviously, for the acts that were booked, seeing all of this fallout, they just end up pulling out too. So they've got no acts. It's a catastrophe. Of course, when attendees do arrive at the island, this is when they realize this is not a private island. There's literally a sandals resort right next door. They're all instructed to put all their luggage into these massive container trucks, which means they're now separated from all their stuff, which is fine because there's probably no space for luggage in the limos, right? Right, guys?
Yeah, limos.
No space in the limos because it's taken up by all the champagne and the stripper pole, right? They're told to board a fleet of yellow school buses that they've managed to get from a bunch of schools in the area. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
I feel like all the signs are saying, no, let me get back on that plane. Let me out of here.
So, of course, they're now arriving. The festival site is still not ready. Billy instructs everyone to be ferried to Mary Ann's restaurant on the beach, which is literally on the other side of the island. She's given 20 minutes notice, literally, that thousands of people are about to descend on her restaurant.
Oh, my God.
She has nothing prepared, Adam, and that is because the restaurant's not even open. Remember, she had shut so that her team could focus on preparing for the 5,000 people that were going to be attending the festival throughout.
Yeah.
She's told to just give them whatever they want. That includes food and drink. Remember, nobody's paying for anything. Billy is just like, we'll just settle the bill later. It's bad. Eventually, the place is just inundated with people. They're out in the hot sun. They have none of their belongings with them, which means that nobody's wearing sunscreen. Mary Ann, all she can do is just fuel people with free alcohol. So everybody is blinding drunk at this point. Adam, this goes on for 6 hours.
I don't know. I feel really anxious now.
You don't know what to say, do you?
Yeah.
Eventually, Billy and the team have no choice. They have to stop bringing people to the site. So it's back on the yellow school buses they go. As they're driving, one of the girls sees all the disaster relief tents in the distance. And for a serious moment, she is like, oh, that's so sad. There's shanty towns on this beautiful island. She genuinely thinks that she is driving past poverty to get to the luxury.
Wow.
So bad. Meanwhile, the bus driver, he's literally laughing his head off because he knows exactly where they're going. Of course, when they get there, they're just in disbelief. One of the guys in the documentary is like, oh, Jesus, like, do we get to burn it down in the end? There's still tents scattered everywhere. There's rubble, concrete everywhere you look. Mattresses are still piled up. They're soaking wet. They're covered in mud. The portaloos haven't even been set up at this point, Adam.
Oh, my God.
The problem now is the sun is going down. They've not even sorted out lighting for the festival. So all anyone can do is just stand around and wait as darkness falls upon them.
Do you know what they should have pitched this as? Like, have you ever been in like a natural disaster? No? Then come here.
Yeah, I don't think you'd sell that many tickets. So at 8 p.m., trucks start arriving with everyone's luggage. People are told to just grab their bags, which is impossible in the darkness amongst the sea of 1,000 identical black suitcases.
I was going to see, like, what?
It is carnage. People are literally fighting. One guy says it was literally like the Hunger Games. Everyone is then told to just grab a tent. Some people are like, but I paid $200,000. Do I get a better tent or do I get a villa?
No.
Sweetie, the answer is no. They're told, just we'll sort it all out later. It's just a free-for-all at this moment in time. Just grab a tent. But of course, based on what they all saw when they arrived, they know at this moment in time that there's just not enough tents for everyone. So it literally becomes like Lord of the Flies with people getting dangerously territorial over whatever tents they do manage to kind of grab. Those who find tents but have wet mattresses, they start robbing the mattresses from the other tents, which now meant that those mattresses are now being dragged through the mud. Those that do have a decent mattress, Adam, they literally piss on them to stop anyone from robbing them. So they would rather sleep on a pissy mattress than no mattress at all or a wet mattress.
No way. I mean, it's guess if it's your own piss, but still, that's what you're marking your territory.
Yeah. Bear in mind, everyone's drunk.
Oh, and people must be dehydrated. Where are they peeing?
And
What's going on?
starving. Yeah. Crazy. Those who had the sense to get out of there couldn't even call a taxi because A, there's no cell reception. And even if they could get a hold of a taxi, they couldn't pay for it because all of their money is on the damn wristband, so they're not even going to work.
I'd be looking at that resort going, can you let us in?
No. So through all this carnage, the team are like, all right, we need to feed these people. And so Billy instructs them all to start handing out the luxury gourmet meals that everyone has been promised.
Oh, no.
And this is when that famous tweet goes viral.
The cheese sandwich.
The cheese sandwich. Do you want to see a picture of it?
Yeah, remind me what it looked like. Oh, my God. There's no butter. Oh, it is a cheese slice. I couldn't remember quite what it was. Oh, there's a little salad with it.
Like, the sandwich isn't even assembled, though. That's just...
They didn't have time to put a piece of bread on another piece of bread.
Yeah, they literally just threw all the ingredients for a cheese sandwich in the styrofoam box. And it's like it's assemble your own sandwich. It's build a sandwich. To be honest, I'd still eat that.
I mean, if you're hungry.
I mean, it's still food. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
But this is the moment that the whole world kind of sort of just grabs their popcorn and they start watching the flood of tweets and posts that are just coming out of this carnage. This is kind of where it really explodes. In the documentary, one guy points out that a bunch of very famous models posting orange tiles on Instagram is essentially what built the entirety of what Fyre Festival was supposed to be. And then just one kid with a few hundred followers posts a picture of a cheese sandwich and it pretty much destroys the entire brand.
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
But these models and these influencers, they were obviously lied to, but they've promoted something that doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
People must have been like throwing them some hate.
Oh, yeah, they do. Kendall Jenner, she gets a lot of backlash for this. In the end, she pays back $90,000 of the money. But the thing is, though, she was paid $250,000.
Yeah, what did she do with the rest?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's really going to teach me a lesson.
Yeah, I've already bought a new convertible.
But at the same time, how would they to know either, right?
True, but almost do your due diligence. But equally, I guess.
In what way? It's a brand new brand that looks promising, making big promises. You trust them. That's all you can do in this world.
Rules involved. So I guess, yeah, you've got some element of trust there. I don't think anyone would have thought it would have been this bad.
I guess maybe the alarm bells would have been, sorry, how long are you going to be planning this for? 8 weeks? Yeah, maybe not. If you said like, in 2 years' time, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's plenty of time. But I don't know, maybe they've been too naive. But should Kendall Jenner and these other influencers who make their money from like selling their image, should they be that hot up on these types of things?
I kind of feel like some influencers, but I just feel like out of respect and duty, like, I don't know. But yeah, equally, I don't think they shouldn't get that much hate.
I think the amount of hate that Kendall Jenner got out of this, it was not proportionate.
No, exactly, because she didn't know it'd be this catastrophic.
No, I don't think Billy even knew. So how do you expect Kendall to know?
But is he like in this situation? Obviously, he's just in survival mode, trying to like get people fed, get people watered, whatever it might be. But like, is he thinking like, how am I actually going to make money from this?
He is just in survival mode at this moment in time. He just needs to get this off the ground. But also, he's backed himself into a corner. He doesn't have any festival insurance. He needs to make some of the money back. He is trapped, basically. It has to go ahead. And I think he can sense that it's going to be very messy. Mm-hmm. He's basically surfing a hope wave.
Yeah.
And so this becomes a real clusterfuck from there. People, they obviously don't have a place to sleep. They are in total darkness. They are all probably still starving. And now, Adam, it is cold. The only thing literally keeping them warm was the fact that they're all so drunk. So it is literally just a massive mess. Meanwhile, Billy, he's cowering at the Fyre Media Villa where they've all been staying. And so attendees, they start gathering outside the house because they have questions, right? Eventually, Billy comes out. Again, he thinks that he can bullshit his way out of this. He's like, okay, everyone, we're going to need you to work with us for a minute. He explains that yesterday there was a torrential downpour that they didn't anticipate and that they just need more time to sort things out. It's literally 10 o'clock at night. Like, how much more time do you need? We need somewhere to sleep. We're getting ready to settle down for the night. There's not even lighting. There's not even a toilet set up.
Yeah, it's like, we'll sort it out tomorrow. I'm just going to go back to my bed.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
we'll deal with it in the morning.
I have to go home on Sunday. In the meantime, he's here to have some more booze. So he gets some more drunk. That lasts around 30 minutes before he comes back out. And he literally just goes, sorry, guys, we're going to cancel the festival.
At that point?
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night. Nowhere to sleep, nothing to eat. Everyone's drunk. We're canceling the festival. And everyone's like, what does that even mean? Like, it is 10 o'clock at night. Well, Adam, it basically means that everyone's going to get back onto those yellow buses and they're going to go straight back to the airport.
Damn.
It's so bad. Meanwhile, all the laborers and the workers who've been busting their gut for the last 6 weeks are like, but we're still going to get paid, right? They're all getting so riled up to the point that Billy and his team are like, we are in serious danger at this moment in time. So all the festival goers, they go back to the airport. Airport staff have no idea how to kind of manage all these people this late at night. They're scrambling to try and rearrange flights, which is impossible to get clearance for at this short notice. While they wait, festival goers are constantly in and out of the airport. Nobody can contain them. So they make the decision to lock them in the airport with a literal chain and padlocks around the door.
Wow.
It's bad. At this time of night, all the stores are closed, so they have no access to water, no access to food, which didn't matter since they had no money anyway. It was all locked onto these wristbands.
Yeah, imagine like you'd come to the island and you think, well, do you know what? My money's kind of secure. I don't need to take much more money. It's fine. I'm sorted. And you've got nothing. You are now literally a refugee almost.
Yeah. So tweets start flying out that they're all being held hostage. You see pictures of people sleeping in doorways. Loads of people have lost their luggage. There's loads of confusion and carnage. In the end, Adam, because of the reach that all these tweets kind of generates, the Bahamian Ministry of Tourism is forced to apologize on behalf of the nation, even though they have nothing to do with this. They are urging everyone to kind of please bear with them. And eventually, they finally arrange the first flights to ferry people off the island. This doesn't happen until the next day, basically. Meanwhile, back in the villa, Billy and the rest of the team, they're still surrounded by all these workers who are now talking about taking them hostage until they get paid.
No way.
They are in serious danger. They realize that they cannot stay on the island, but also there's just no way to escape. They are completely surrounded. Andy King, do you remember the guy prepared to suck dick? So he basically swaps his clothes with someone. He manages to hide in the back of a car. He's able to escape to the airport where he's able to just get the hell out of there. So I'm glad for him.
Yeah.
He didn't cause this mess. He's trying to rescue it, basically.
Trying to rescue it, but I don't know. I feel like he should have just like called
He
it.
should have got involved in the first place. Billy, meanwhile, he doesn't have time to plan an escape for himself. He's getting all these calls from investors. They're demanding an explanation. Steven Starr's catering company wants to know why a shitty cheese sandwich has been accredited to them. Journalists want comment. Adam, it's intense. Eventually, he puts out a statement saying that the rain had obviously, unfortunately, put a damper on what was otherwise expected to be an incredible event. And as a result, his team were forced to kind of cancel the festival. Like, it's a festival. If it can't handle a little bit of rain, then something seriously is going wrong, right? He says, don't worry, next year's festival is going to be incredible. So he's planning Fyre Festival 2. But to be fair, can you really call it Fyre Festival 2? Because there hasn't even really been a Fyre Festival 1.
It was basically a day out.
Day out.
I mean, a terrible day out, but a day out.
He gives attendees a choice between either a full refund or VIP ticket access to next year's festival.
Nope.
Yeah. I would love to know how many people actually take that latter option.
I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, count me in. Of course, throughout all the tweets and the Instagram posts, this whole thing just grows into this viral kind of sensation. Everyone is just making fun of it. But Adam, there's a sad part to this because at the heart of all of this is a pretty huge tragedy, especially for the people that he had employed. Remember Marianne Roll, right?
Yeah.
That was the local who he conned into doing the catering for these 5,000 people. All that food is now gone to waste, and she was never paid for this. Remember, she'd spent $5,000 of her own money. She employed 10 staff to work 24 hours a day, and then just everyone fucked off.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and that's just her. All the other people that are involved. We're laughing and saying, yeah, it's really funny that he thinks he can put on another festival the following year. But then all these people that are just out of pocket because of him, and he thinks it's no big deal.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have remorse. He's a bit of a psychopath. But also the saddest part when it comes to Marianne is that he shit-talked her into believing that this was going to be an annual thing. Like, she pulled out all the stops, and in the end, she was left financially ruined by this. It's literally not until after the documentary is released where people really take to her story. Someone ends up setting up like a GoFundMe where they raise $140,000 for her, which is at least a little bit of good news to come out of the shit show. But the thing is, though, if that documentary hadn't been made, she would be ruined.
Yeah. And like, how much did she spend? Was it $150,000 that
she spent? $50,000. So she's a little bit in pocket, basically.
Yeah, but probably all the stress and everything else, and it still doesn't really cover it.
But also, Adam, let's not forget that the entire reason for this festival in the first place was to promote an app.
Oh, yeah. Did anyone even talk about the app? All the people were talking about was the cheese sandwich.
The app was supposed to be central to the entire festival. I didn't hear any talk of billboards or marketing material or leaflets or, nothing. None of it.
I wouldn't be trusting this app.
So, of course, there's our whole team back in the USA working on this talent booking app. Billy basically comes into the office and says, we're not firing anyone, but we cannot pay anyone in the short term. And the staff are like, what the hell does that even mean? If you won't fire us and you won't pay us, then that means that you're trying to force us to quit? And Billy is like, I don't know what to say. You're being too negative.
Oh, God.
But they're like, but if we quit, we then won't be eligible for unemployment benefits.
Damn. Could you not just like take another job? I guess then
you could if you got one, but if you like, what's the point in staying there and working if you're not going to get paid? But if you quit, then you don't get this unemployment benefit. It's bad.
They're screwed, essentially.
Yeah. So in the aftermath, of course, the FBI start investigating and they discover that Billy was essentially embroiled in a big fat Ponzi scheme where he was using money from new investors to pay off older debts. He also apparently lied about the value of the business and he was taking loans of like 120% interest, which means that he was constantly having to chase his tail just to pay off those investors and also the interest and things like that were mounting up. Eventually, the FBI, they bring a $100 million lawsuit against Billy McFarland and Jeffrey. Yes, we forgot about Jeffrey for a second. Mm-hmm. But by some miracle, Jeffrey manages to argue that he was just one of Billy McFarland's victims in all of this.
Really? But I thought he was way more heavily involved.
Yeah, he was on all the press conferences. He was on all the media tours, everything. He was one of the main orchestrators behind the promotional video. So it's just bullshit.
But then was he just a bit of a show pony that was wheeled out to talk about it, hype it up, but didn't really get involved with the nitty-gritty?
I don't know, but I don't get the sense of that. He was very much a key player in this. But in the end, he was like, I had no idea. I'm just a victim. He probably set up his own GoFundMe. But he does manage to argue his way out of this, and eventually the lawsuit is dropped against him. So it's just Billy that's on the line. The lawsuit alleged fraud, breach of contract, breach of the covenant of good faith, partly due to the inadequate catering, but also the incident where attendees were literally locked in the airport and kept hostage.
Yeah, that's a pretty serious offense.
The main crux was the negligent misrepresentation. Pablo Escobar's island, the villas, the glamping tents, which ended up being disaster relief tents, all the artists that were said to be attending, it was all misrepresented, right? Private individuals start also bringing their own lawsuits, including a class action on behalf of 277 attendees, who in the end, they're all awarded like $7,000 each. So good for them, I guess. Eventually, in court, Billy pleads guilty on 2 counts of wire fraud. He admits to using fake documents to attract investors, and in the end, he is literally ordered to pay back more than $26 million in restitution.
Damn.
A lot of money, eh?
And I bet he doesn't. I just know that this is the kind of person that will probably get away with it.
He has no choice. If he is going to continue trying to make money, a portion of that money has to go towards restitution. That is law. He will dress this up as him doing a noble thing. You'd be like, guys, I'm paying some of the money back in restitution. I'm paying back sometimes even more than I'm supposed to every month. It's just bullshit. He has to do that. If he's earning money, then he's mandated. But Adam, that is where that basketball bouncing metaphor hits the ground yet again in the story of Billy McFarland. Because while he's out on bail, the bounce goes again and he starts up another scam. he creates a company called NYC VIP Access, where he starts selling tickets to various kind of exclusive events like Coachella, but also the Met Gala, which isn't even a ticketed event. This is an event where Anna Wintour sends you out a personal invite. But what irks me the most is that these are all very obvious scams, right? His image at this moment in time is everywhere. People in the know that anything to do with Billy McFarland is likely dodgy. So he is targeting people who either don't know who he is or are really dumb. But when it comes to these tickets, right, these are largely tourists from other countries who are coming to visit and they go, do you know what? I'd like to go to the Met Gala. I didn't know it was a ticketed event. Let me buy a ticket from them. Or, oh, I'm traveling from Europe and I want to go to Coachella because you see it all over Instagram. Let me go there. And they'll buy these tickets and they all end up being fake.
How did he get away with this?
He just can't stop scamming people. Even in the Netflix documentary, he's so brazen about it that there's footage of him awaiting his sentence. He's at his computer selling fake tickets. Like, he has people documenting the supposed meteoric rise. And to him, all of this is just a tiny little blimp on the bigger picture, basically. In October 2018, he is eventually sentenced to 6 years in federal prison. He serves less than 4 years. He's eventually released in March 2022, and he is now forced to start making arrangements to pay back that $26 million, which is another thing that irks me because every time he wiggles out of the woodwork with another scam, his main selling point is that every time you give him money, he is committed to paying off a percentage of that $26 million, which makes me sick that he's dressing it up as a noble thing. Like, you ripped a bunch of people off. You're not doing a good deed. You're doing what is mandated by law.
Yeah.
But also, in saying that, he's literally admitting that he is a scam artist, and yet he frames this as this noble thing. I just don't understand why people don't see through that. So, Adam, he is free. What do you think Billy does now?
Sets up another scam.
Well, true to his word, in April 2023, Billy announces on Twitter that it was finally happening. Fyre Festival 2.
Really? He goes ahead with it.
It's scheduled to run between May the 30th to June the 2nd, 2025, so this year. This time it's going to be more small scale. He sells 100 tickets for $500 a pop. Unbelievably, they sell out almost immediately.
Is it because people just want to be part of the zeitgeist or whatever it is?
I don't know. Are people buying these ironically? But nevertheless, like, they all sell out.
Crazy.
But even at this point that the tickets go on sale, there is no music lineup. There's no date. They don't even have a venue, just like before. He was trying to scout around for a new island, but he's rejected by every single one of them. Eventually, he lands on an island off the coast of Mexico, apparently. Of course, journalists start digging into this to see where the island actually is. They manage to get hold of the exact coordinates of the secret, elusive Mexican island. When they click on the coordinates, it's literally just a random spot in the middle of the ocean.
What?
There's nothing there.
So this was earlier this year?
Yeah. He's eventually forced to disclose where the actual island was, but the local government that owned or governed the island were like, we've never met Billy, we've never talked to him, and we know nothing about any festival that's due to take place in 2025.
Right.
So even with that, he starts offering a new ticket tier, this time for $1,400. Somehow they sell as well, even after it had been exposed that he's not spoken to anyone in the government. He's got no lineup. There's no music, nothing. He even then starts offering a premium, super top tier ticket for $1.1 million, which he calls real tickets.
Real tickets?
Yeah. What does that mean for the other two tiers? I don't get it.
What? Please don't tell me he actually sells any of them.
I don't know if he does. I couldn't find any evidence that he sold any of the top tier tickets.
And you say they were sold out, but were they? I just wonder if it's kind of his own hype or marketing behind it.
Possibly. It could be bullshitting, yeah. It just boggles my mind, though. I don't want to say it, but this is testament to how idiotic people can be for falling for this if they did buy those tickets. Do you know what I mean?
I guess maybe there's some people that, I don't know, have enough disposable income that, like, they do it and they'll just see what happens. Like,
yes, like ironic.
Yeah, they can post it on their Instagram. They can tell people that they went to another catastrophe. But it sounds like it didn't happen. It couldn't have happened, right?
So, in April 2025, just 2 months before Fyre Festival 2 was due to take place, Adam, Billy releases a statement saying the festival is going to be postponed indefinitely.
Right.
So it didn't happen, unfortunately.
And so the people that bought the ticket?
He's probably going, oh, we will hold it eventually. Your ticket will roll over.
Yeah, like, it just feels like he's just conning more people to pay out, one, his debts or paying back something else.
Yeah.
This guy should just not be allowed to do business.
He then decides that he is going to list the entire Fyre Media brand, including all the trademarks, the social media accounts, all their merch, everything for sale on eBay.
eBay.
It's literally just a last-ditch effort to milk the scam, basically. Like, he says officially that the brand had become too big for him to lead on his own.
Too big?
Yeah.
What even is the brand?
I think it's just notoriety. I think that's pretty much it. He creates a huge amount of buzz around the sale. He sets up a live stream for the actual auction. And on the night, the winning bid is $245,300. Billy is gutted. In the live stream, you literally hear him say, "Damn, it's so low." He's really gutted. He thought it was worth way more.
Yeah. So who would have bought that? I guess you could turn that into some kind of ironic brand
It's
or
a
merch
nice
or
brand.
something.
Who knows? He then posts on social media that Fyre Festival is just one chapter in my story, and I'm excited to move on to the next one. And with that, the basketball hit the ground, and I'm afraid to say, it's probably not for the last time. I think there's a few more bouncers left in him.
I imagine he is going to like turn up doing something else.
Unfortunately, it is pathetic. It's sad. But also a tragic comedy in a way.
Like, I have to hand it to him in some ways to have all those people probably like pestering him or wanting answers, money. Like, he must be able to work well under pressure.
I couldn't do it, I don't think.
No. So well done in a way. But yeah, you are a bit of a piece of shit.
Yeah, major piece of shit. And Adam, that is the story of Fyre Festival.
Wow. That was a wild ride.
But it's so crazy. Like, from that era in time, you've got Elizabeth Holmes, you've got Anna Delvey, and now you've got Billy McFarland. They all seem to be cut from almost the same kind of cloth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? From the same era. What is it about?
Con artists of 2010s.
Yeah, that's it. They seem to all rhyme with each other. They all seem to kind of have the same outlook, the same entitlement. What is that about?
I think it is, maybe it is that kind of thing that, like we talked about at the beginning, the fake it till you make it. And, you know, for some people, they can make it. So I understand it's a principle, but when you're at that kind of scale, so with Elizabeth Holmes, it was about people's health that she was playing around with.
Yeah.
With this guy, he just wasn't planning very well at all.
No.
If he actually perhaps planned the event 2 years in advance, then maybe he could have pulled it off.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because people were interested in his concept and his marketing was good. His
and
ideas.
he was also great at raising money.
Exactly. So there's a lot of good, but these people just need better people around them to steer them, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think there's the entitlement, there's the arrogance there. It's the I know better. When you are discounting the years and years of experience of the other people around you, like, he is very good as a salesman. He had some really good ideas. He's just not very good at the execution. Like with Magnesis, it was a good idea, but he turned it into a scam because he was mismanaging the entire business because it was just him running it. He's not very good at doing the thing. You know, he's good at coming up with the idea, but he's not very good at physically doing the thing. Like when it comes to being a CEO, like Steve Jobs was famous for this, right? He was like, I'm not the best coder. I'm not the best engineer. I'm none of these things. But what I am really good at is bringing the right people together in order to execute an initiative. Fascinating story, but I am really gutted that I wasn't aware that Fyre Festival was happening earlier this year. I only recently found out about it.
I imagine it perhaps didn't have quite the same hype.
No, that's the thing though. Like with the metaphor with the basketball, with each bounce that comes after that, it's a little bit lower before it just dribbles out. Hopefully he's at the dribble bit, and any new scam that he comes up with now is just going to be not very wide hitting, not many victims, hopefully. I think hopefully people now know that he's...
Stay clear. Although he
shit.
needs to pay back some money, so he needs to find some job at McDonald's.
True. I just hope the regular civilians that he defrauded get their money back. But they're probably really far down on the list of who gets their payments first. It's probably going to be the big businesses. Shame. But yeah, should we run the outro for this week?
Let's do it.
And so that brings us to the end of another fascinating foray into the compendium and assembly of fascinating things. We hope you enjoyed the ride as much as we did.
And if today's episode sparked your curiosity, then please do us a favor and follow us on your favorite podcast app. It truly makes a world of difference and helps more people discover the show.
And for our dedicated freaks out there, don't forget that next week's episode is already waiting for you on our Patreon, and it is completely free to access.
And if you want even more, then join our Certified Freaks tier to unlock the entire archive, delve into exclusive content, and get a sneak peek at what's coming next. We'd love for you to be part of our growing community.
We drop new episodes every Tuesday, and until then, remember, the grandest promises can crumble faster than tents on sand. See you next time.
See ya.
Lowe's early Black Friday deals are going fast. Don't miss up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, up to an extra 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. And with Christmas around the corner, you're gonna need more string lights, right? Save $4 on GE LED 100 count string lights, now just $5.98. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. Select locations only while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.